Something big just rocked the rap world, and it's not a staged beef or a clout-chasing diss track. This is heavier. A buried chapter from Papoose's past, now bubbling up and shaking the culture. It's not about Remy Ma, not about loyalty in the usual sense. It's a hidden link from before the fame, before love and hip-hop, before the Black Love image. We're talking about street secrets, sealed court files, and a name no one ever expected tied to him until now. What's wild is this didn't come from haters, but from someone close to him, acting out of fear. If true, Papoose may be connected to one of the most powerful and mysterious figures in East Coast rap history, a man the industry whispers about but rarely names. This isn't gossip, it's the first strike in a war, and it came from the past. Before he became a mixtape king and the loyal husband who stood by Remy during her prison stretch, there was another story, one darker and less told. It began back in the mid-90s, Brownsville, Brooklyn. Back then, survival meant silence, and one mistake could end everything. Shamel Mackey, young and quiet, was already circling around power more than music. People said he was being molded, not by a label, but by a man known as Uncle Larry. Not family, but respected like one. Larry wasn't flashy, no chains, no flashy clubs, but he allegedly funded much of the underground. Local rappers, radio plugs, street operations. His rule was simple: loyalty above all. Break it and you disappeared. Sometimes framed, sometimes worse. Teenage Papoose was one of the rare few Larry trusted, not for muscle, but for his mind. Larry valued thinkers over shooters. In 1996, when a major bust hit Larry's network, Shamel's name reportedly appeared in the files. Yet he was booked and released that same night. No charges, no media, sealed records. It was as if it never happened. Until last week, a voice note began spreading in private group chats and Reddit threads. A man claiming to be one of Larry's former soldiers said, "Papoose ain't just a rapper. He's loyal to power. He never left the game. He just switched uniforms." The note ended with a grainy photo of a young Pap beside a federal booking ID, later confirmed real through facial recognition. The internet immediately split. Some dismissed it as a fake or rival-made deepfake, but insiders said the leak came from Pap's own circle, a manager from his early mixtape era, cut off after Pap signed a major deal. That man allegedly held onto sealed documents, screenshots, and voicemails for years, not for revenge, but out of fear. Fear that Uncle Larry, long believed dead or hiding overseas, might be back. If true, anyone tied to him could be at risk, especially someone now in the spotlight. Loyalty, when used as a mask, can hide anything. Fans are starting to wonder if Pap has been wearing one all along. Remy Ma's silence only fueled the storm. When Nicki dissed her, she answered with "sheather." When blogs dragged her, she went live. Now, nothing. Reports say she and Pap have argued behind closed doors, and he skipped a public event without reason. Fans are divided. Some defend him, saying legends always get dirt dug up. Others believe this isn't just dirt, it's roots that were never cut. What if Pap's story, his music, his marriage, his brand, was built on a deal he made as a kid, one he could never walk away from? Sometimes survival forces choices that stick forever. Uncle Larry was no ordinary street figure. He was feared not for violence, but for influence. He could turn a rapper into a star or erase them before their first single. Now, after nearly 30 years, he's been spotted again. Not in Brooklyn, but Atlanta. A blurry party photo posted by an unsuspecting promoter exposed him. The comments quickly identified him. Bald head, scar by the temple, diamond horseshoe pinky ring. Industry vets started whispering, "Larry's back." And if he's back, it's not for peace. That's when Pap's name blew up again. Was he still connected? Did Larry secretly back his ventures? Was Pap protecting someone? A private investigator claimed he trailed Larry in Atlanta, watching him meet two men in a black SUV linked to a Newark property, a recording studio owned by Pap's cousin. Days later, the studio was broken into. The only thing missing? A single hard drive. Someone was covering tracks. Remy stayed quiet, but a close friend tweeted, and quickly deleted, "Loyalty ain't loyalty if you lied about where it started." Now fans are questioning, did Remy always know Pap's past? Or is she just as blindsided? The paranoia grew when a leaked call surfaced, 90% verified as Pap's voice. "I did what I had to do back then. I am proud of it, but if he's back, we all in trouble." That's no lyric. That's a confession. Now people don't know whether to support him or fear him. Because if Larry is back, truths will surface and debts will come due. And with Larry, debts always came with interest. If Pap was once sponsored talent, that meant ownership, maybe temporary, maybe lifelong. Some claim Uncle Larry bankrolled a secret mixtape pressing in the early 2000s, giving Pap a head start of 10,000 copies while others hustled hand to hand. That advantage may have tied him to a deal that never truly ended, but maybe he didn't want it to. What if the fame, the Black Love brand, even the fairy tale romance with Remy was crafted not just as a rise from struggle, but as camouflage, a shield to wash away the past while hiding it in plain sight? Fans are now digging through old timelines, and things don't add up. People who knew Pap back then remember him disappearing for weeks, even during crucial promo runs. One radio DJ insists he canceled the Funk Flex freestyle last minute for a family emergency, only to be spotted near a stash house the same night. The biggest theory isn't back for nostalgia. He's back to collect. And the missing hard drive from Pap's cousin's studio? Word is, it carried more than songs. Names, addresses, videos, all filed under something chilling. Insurance.pap. If that drive ever surfaces, the streets could ignite. This isn't just about Pap anymore. It touches producers, engineers, executives, anyone who unknowingly benefited from a career tied to a ghost. Those files could spark RICO cases, silent arrests, backroom deals, and caught in the middle is a man who built his brand on loyalty, now facing whispers that loyalty was just a mask. Then came a sighting no one could deny. Uncle Larry caught in leaked surveillance footage at JFK Airport, back in New York. And this time, he wasn't hiding. But the real shock came not from him, but from her. Remy Ma, the partner who once vowed she'd take a bullet for Papoose, made a move no one saw coming. No live streams, no diss track, just paperwork. A leaked legal document, signed Reminisce Mackey, revealed a formal separation. Not divorce, but loud enough. 3 lines stood out. "I was unaware of my husband's early affiliations. I did not consent to being tied to federal activity. For the protection of my brand, child, and business ventures, I am distancing myself immediately." Blogs exploded. Fans were torn, some devastated, others asking if she'd always known. Behind the scenes, the split had been brewing for months. Secret meetings, strange men watching from event corners, calls going unanswered. Then came the night she confronted him about the missing drive. A source claims she screamed, "Why didn't you tell me what was on it?" Pap's answer was 5 words. "I was protecting you, Rem." But it was too late. The drive was gone. Worse, a backup surfaced during a sweep by a private federal investigator, hidden in a locker under Pap's real name. On it were logs, names, timestamps, and one haunting file. Insurance 201 Finalize. It was a shaky 3-minute video. A young Papoose sits in shadow as Uncle Larry speaks off camera. "This is the deal. I give you the push, you give me your word. If I call, you return. No questions, no outs." Pap looks straight into the lens and says, "I swear." It wasn't just a promise, it was a contract. Remy saw the footage. According to insiders, she cried for hours, not only because Pap had a past, but because their future was built on a lie. For years, they'd sold themselves as the image of Black Love, hosted relationship talks, mentored couples, became the standard. But that video destroyed it all. Pap claimed to be self-made, but the truth was clear. He was built by a man who vanished, then reappeared to collect. Remy wasn't going down with him, not with the feds circling. Story, her pain, her betrayal, her survival. She's reportedly ready to share how she found letters hidden in a safe, how his studio runs never made sense, how once a stranger followed them home and Pap only said, "Don't look back." She's prepared to reveal the truth he spent years burying, and in doing so, she's becoming the hero of her own story, and the villain in his. The internet's reaction has been brutal. Fans are deleting old posts praising him. Clips of him preaching loyalty are being recycled into memes. One viral video asked, was he loyal or just afraid? It pulled 2 million views in a day. Remy hasn't spoken directly, but her silence says enough. She's finished protecting him. Maybe now she's protecting herself. Because with Larry back in the city, federal eyes circling, and that hard drive in the shadows, nobody is safe. Not Pap, not Remy, not anyone who thought they were just watching from the sidelines. This isn't rap anymore. This is survival. A sealed past is cracking open. The ghost has returned. The hard drive carries the truth. And the woman who once stood beside him now stands against him. This isn't just Papoose's story. It's about the cost of silence, the price of loyalty, and the moment a legacy begins to collapse. Not from beef, not from rivals, from truth. And the craziest part? We still don't know everything. If Larry really is back and Remy steps forward on camera, then what we've seen is only the opening act. If that full footage leaks, everything changes. So here's the question. Was Papoose a victim of the streets? Or a soldier who never left the game? Was Remy right to walk away, or did she break the code? And when the truth finally drops, will it destroy everything they built, or set them free? The comments are yours. Debate, defend, expose. Because in this game, loyalty isn't just a bond, it's a weapon. And sometimes it fires back.